Hello and welcome to another stream here on Behance and YouTube. My name's Anna Davis Court. I am a children's book illustrator, and Joe was first in the chat today saying first contact. So gold star goes to Dark Hours Co. Thank you so much for being here. Also, I see Robin in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. If you are on YouTube, we're usually chatting over on Behance, but we welcome all chats. I will be popping in every once in a while to check on what you guys are saying. Rain's in the chat, hello, saying hi, friends. How is everybody? How are you on this fine Wednesday or Thursday or whatever day it is in your mind? Because time is an enigma and nobody knows what's going on. My audio might be a little bit more crunchy than usual because we've got the air conditioner running and it's big noise. So I have created a noise suppression filter for my mic, and it might just be like a little when I talk. So sorry about that. It's not a feral pug. It is my microphone. I wish it was a feral pug. I'd love a dog to take care of, man. I'm on TikTok watching like animal rescues where they're like a feral kitten and now it loves, and it's just like so good. So good. Anyways, what TikToks are you guys on? I want to know your amalgamations of things that are being offered to you. That horse farriers, the clipping of the hooves, we get a lot of that. Giant pumpkins being grown, daily reports basically by like they grow like 45 pounds a day. It is very impressive. Lot of different little things. Oh, the cat that smells things, Melon be smelling. There's such good characters on there. Anywho, ooh, Dark Hour says my jet lag has me on Norse pagan TikTok because, you know, why not? Agreed. Yes, you took a big old trip. You got to tell us all about it because seriously, that's awesome. You just came back from Sweden to Australia. That is probably like the furthest away you could go, I feel like. But fantastic. I hope it was a fun time. Rin says, interesting amalgamation of TikToks. You know, we all have something weird in there. They could all be kind of the same, and then it'll just be like one wackadoodle, or like five on my case. Martha says, watched your Softlight demo on replay. So good. Got to join again when you did the Discord after. Thank you so much, Martha. I am so glad that you got to see that. If you missed it, it was last week. It was on Friday, I believe. It was just a 30-minute live stream where I explained how I like to use the Softlight tool in Photoshop. And the Softlight tool, there was a good point made afterward. After the live stream, we went on Discord and chatted with people for like 30 minutes so that people could get their questions answered directly. And one of those questions was about Fresco, which we're going to be in today, and if the Softlight tool works the same. And in my summation of things, yes, it works exactly the same way in Fresco. So good to know, right? For everybody who's soft lighting it. I definitely am. I'm not a moonlighter, I'm a soft lighter. Dark Hour says, yes, my body feels like it's the it is the furthest you can go. Maybe like 1 mile more north, and then it's like, oh, that's too far. If I take one more step, this is the furthest from home I've ever been. Jessica T's in this chat. What's up, Jessica? Saying hi, Anna. Hi, all. Yay, Anna. Stream time. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, and we're not even started. Are you guys excited? Do you even know what's coming? Dark Hour says, have I slept since yesterday? Maybe not entirely. Is that the good thing for jet lag or bad thing? Like, are you keeping yourself awake to try to be back on schedule, or are you awake and it's throwing you off schedule? Either way, I wish you all the luck and be kind to your body. Martha says, you were so professional. What? That's insane. Me? Professional? No, that was a fun one. It was short and sweet, so I didn't have much time to, you know, gag it up. So, I wanted to, yeah, just stick to what I had planned. Actually, you know, funny thing about that stream, I was so concerned about timing because with Adobe Live, usually there's a guest and a host, and it's kind of like timey-wimey. You don't have to get things done on time, but for instructional things, you kind of want to get to everything. So I had 3 different use cases that I was doing, and every single time I practice it, which was 2 times, I believe, I was way under time. I think the first time I did it, I talked about everything in 11 minutes, and I had like 24 minutes to fill. And then the second time I did it in 16 minutes, so it was still under, and I was like, oh no. So I knew in my head, okay, where you can extend it, extend it. So I went a little bit more into tools that I was using with the soft lay, like here's the gradient tool, it's here with the paint bucket, stuff like that. Anyways, if you're curious about any of that, go check out my highly professional pro tips episode. Also, Dark Hour says, "Oh no, I'm all over the place. I slept over 17 hours after I got home." Well, isn't that just the way with any trip? If I go out of town for a day, like to the coast, I come back and I sleep for 17 hours. So I think that is the tried and true method. All right, let's get into it. We are working in Fresco today. What we're going to be doing is making a new banner because if you don't know, I have had the same banner for Patreon forever. So imagine like the animation fits right over this. So this is my banner right now. It's got this dark foliage background and then the let's make stories together letters moving on top, which I love it. I feel like it's engaging, it's simple, it's something that feels like it goes with the rest of my page. However, the meaning behind this was when I first started my Patreon for after the residency was over. I wanted to kind of rebrand it to be making stories literally together, where I would put up polls and we would make stories and it would become like a collaborative short story engine. Now, that is not necessarily the way that it went, just because I do not work that organized. I wish that I could do that, but it is one of those things where it's like you have to have an organized mind to make things like that happen regularly, and especially with Patreon, keeps cropping up month after month. I wonder why. So I've found that the ways that I can make it fit into my life are just a few different. I only have two different tiers, and I put what I want to make that month on here. So it's never going to be like a pre-planned thing necessarily. Although with the $12 tier, you do get a postcard and a sticker every single month. So I always, fulfill that. But anyways, it's just one of those things where it went a little bit differently and now I want to rebrand to be more of what we are. And so what I was thinking was kind of going along with a plant theme instead of like a book theme. Because the other thing is I have tiers that are named chapter 1 and chapter 3. I got rid of chapter 2. But that was to go with like the reading book story theme, which I love. Anybody else, feel free to use that. But I just want it to be what it is now. So I thought plant theme could be very good because I love plants. I love painting plants. There's a lot of nature work in my artwork. And so let's grow together. What do you think? What do you say? Opinions? Opinions? I'm open to change. I actually mocked up several different options for this saying. So we had this one. Why is it not going away? Am I glitching it? Okay, there we go. And then this one was a little bit simpler. It was my first idea of just having like a line of plants. It almost reminds me of like My Neighbor the Yamadas, where it kind of just fades off into white. But that's a different kind of feel. And then this one where it was a little more decorative. I would have to make sure this one's centered because it was just, free-handed, so it's a little wonky. But with this one, I think it's really pretty. I don't know exactly how I would want it animated. Like whether the plants would grow out of the letters, which would take a lot more work and a lot more animation knowledge than maybe I have. And then I was thinking for this one, which I think is my favorite right now, that we could have the background we can paint out, and then we can definitely have the letters moving, and then if we want to, we can make a little bit of motion in the plants. Motion can be two different things in my mind. So motion could mean that they are actually like animating, like maybe they wiggle or something. But then the other part of it is just drawing it several times. And when you draw something a second time, it's never going to perfectly match up with the lines as if you were duplicating the layer. So it gives it a little bit of motion, just like this banner shows how writing the letters the same way multiple times will give you a little motion to it. So that's definitely what I'm going to do with the letters on this. I might do it with the plants. Who knows? Who knows? Elizabeth Mock, what's up? Says, is Fresco on desktop? Yes, it is. Ah, it's a magic. I know. The really interesting thing is I have not updated my iPad's Fresco. And so I still don't have the ability to use motion on the iPad. But I can use it on desktop. Who would have thunk? It's a fascinating thing, I know. Robin says that's adorable. Aw. And also Dark Hour says, genius, and I am so proud of you and excited for you doing all this refreshing. You know, it really feels good to refresh. One other thing I really want to refresh is all of the stream stuff. So like you guys see I'm a camera on a screen. I feel like this could be more decorated. But those kind of things are always put off for other things. Right now, Anthony and I are going hard on getting the online store up and running, hopefully by the end of the month. But what we think might happen, this is still up in the air, is I might just make the store open to patrons first so that I can have kind of a soft opening with a few people who have proven themselves to be forgiving. That makes me sound horrible. But it's true. I want to start in a way that is the least possibility of stuff going wrong for a lot of people. Because I know that something's going to go wrong eventually, and I just want it to be like maybe one person that I can easily fix their problem instead of like 17 people, and I'm like, ah, ah. So that's the goal. So I'm going to just start painting this in. It'll probably be a while of painting, so if you're here for animation, it'll just be a min. Let me figure out first what this is going to look like. I do like the idea of it being dark and then having light elements on top of it, just like whoop, 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 this one. So the light letters on top I really like. Martha says, we will buy you out. How dare you? No. Yeah. Dark Hour says, yeah, soft launch, baby. Agreed. I agree. Hardcore. Elizabeth says, I've been trying to find videos on desktop Fresco for a while of weeks, so this is nice. I'm in the doesn't have an iPad camp, huh? Oh my gosh, well this is revolutionary for you. Have you tried Fresco at all? Because I'll tell you what, is awesome. I think I'm gonna go for brown here, but I'm not married to it, so just bear with me. I'm gonna paint in with my rake grit, because this is my nice opaque brush. Boop. Also, the tilde key, I can't remember if this didn't work before, but the tilde key is working as the eraser version of the brush in Fresco as well. Because that was, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, one of the problems that I had with desktop Fresco lately. On the iPad version, there's this little push button right here where you can push it with your thumb if you have touch enabled, and it will become the eraser of your brush. And I love, love, love that. But on desktop, I definitely prefer just using hotkeys. So that's just me. Although I have to say, Alt is still not the color select tool, which makes me sad. So that's why I'm, I guess, happy with the recent color palette thingy here. But like when mixing colors, man, all I want to do is press Alt and color select. There is definitely an eyedropper tool over here where I can go in and like, I just want it to be a hotkey. So if you guys have any fixes for that, let me know. Let me know. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit darker with this brown, I think. Yeah, there we go. Whoops, nope, not that. Okay, I said undo. Audio diff? Yes, okay, got it. Hello? Okay. So, oh, I'm still on the paint bucket tool. Wow, Anna, why you do these things? Okay, there we go. Brush. Green. Get rid of that. Okay. Now we've got some dark tones to work with. So I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm just going to quickly pop in some plant colors. And I think I might use a soft light to add some color variety, especially with greens. Every green outside is not just the same green again and again. There's all sorts of different colors. So, and again, this is obviously the most rough version of this, where it's just planning out basically the colors and tones. I also really like using, what's this adjustment layer? Color balance to figure out these base colors before going in any further. I think I'll make this one like a small one down here. No, I'll do it right here. Going off script. What? Okay, so I'm going to do a soft light layer and clip it to this before I forget. So all we have to do is make a new layer, make it soft light. In the little panel up here, it gives you those options, and then I clipped it to the plant one, so this one. And I definitely want to get some like orange in there. I see a lot of orange in nature, honestly. I want it to be kind of yellowy. especially like burnt edge of leaf and stuff like that. Right now, when it's crispy, at least in America, it is very hot. That's why I got the AC going today. I think it's supposed to get over 100 today. A yikers. Oh, let's see. Elizabeth says, yes, I tried it within a couple of days of your stream. I need to learn the shortcuts. How did you set up the shortcuts in Fresco Desktop? I didn't set anything up. This is just how it is by default. I am on a PC. I don't know if that makes much of a difference, but it's what I got. I'm also working on a Cintiq, so keep that in mind, I guess. And also, amazing how you fill the entire canvas with 2 colors and it already looks like a lot of progress. Big chunks first, I gotta say. Rin says, "New, may the weather cool for you soon." And also for you, Rin. You're gonna be up here very soon. Dark Hour says, "I'm going to have to take a stream on the road with me, a little grocery shopping." Okay, yes. All right, I'll tell you a story in your ear. So once upon a time, Dark Hours Co. went to the grocery store. What did they find there? Let's see. Chili oil and tofu and baby bok choy. Yum! Yum, I say. By the way, I'm gonna try making some mapo tofu sometime soon. I don't have Szechuan peppercorns though, which I know is like no, but also yum yum. I just want food in my belly that tastes good. So, anyways. Elizabeth says, "I'm on PC too in a Cintiq, although it's the 16, not a Pro." I've heard good things about the 16, honestly. So I hope you're enjoying it. Rin says, "I know, bahaha. Some of the incoming students were complaining about how it will be hot when we arrive. We're all definitely looking forward to when the weather cools again. It will not be too long, and usually fall is oh okay, so James and I are part of a little Discord server with some of our friends that we play video games with, and we put up polls every once in a while. And the latest poll that James put up was, what's your favorite season? And I was having such a hard time deciding between spring and fall because how can you choose? They're so good. They're so good. Especially like if you guys have not experienced either in Oregon, it is the best thing in the world. I am definitely biased about this though, because I've grown up in Oregon, if you didn't know, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. And the idea of seasons is very different based on where you are in the world, your experience of it. We were asking our friends from California, and of course they're like, "I love winter," and we were like, "You're crazy." So winter here is very wet and then sometimes snow. So it's just this miserable, like, chill you to the bone air and then sog, sog, sog. So not really the most fun, but fall is magical because sometimes you get the rain, sometimes you get the crisp leaves. The colors are just outrageously beautiful. And then with, sorry, I'm gonna do a color balance layer on here. I'm gonna clip it again. And then we could collapse this all. So with, what was I talking about? Oh, spring. The other time of year that I'm just like so drawn to is because the rebirth of everything. There is nothing like coming out of a slog of winter and feeling like you're alive again. It's just amazing. So I love seeing the plants bursting into life. I love seeing the just everything that comes with spring. It smells so good. There's also rain, but in like a hopeful way instead of cold. When it starts getting warm, my gosh, so good. Wade says, hi, what's up, Wade? How are you? Thank you for popping in. What's everybody else's favorite season? I gotta know. And like, why? Just give me a short synopsis of what that season is like for you and what your favorite parts of it are. Robin says, equinoxes for the win. Seriously, I love middling seasons. They're so much better than the extremes. Rin says, I'm wondering how allergies will be for me there, but they're so bad down here, I don't think it will be worse. Anthony was saying that he's taken so much allergy medication that he's just, the allergies are gone forever because he's taken so much. Which I know is not true, but also that just shows how bad it can be. Dark Hour says, seasons? I hardly know her. Oh my gosh. Rin says, autumn. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it here. Dark Hour says, whichever one that has the most mushrooms to look at is my favorite. Dark Hours, you would also love Autumn in Oregon. So many mushrooms. This is like mushroom hunting territory. Jessica says, I love fall too. I'm on the East Coast and love seeing the foliage and apple cider donuts. Yes. Kendall's in the chat saying, hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome. And also, what's your favorite season and why? Rin says the crisp cool air, the seasonal decorations, and just all the smells. They're just the best. What's not to love about autumn? Truly, truly. Wade says, isn't Halloween season every season? It's almost Halloween season. Get ready. Okay, I'm gonna collapse these down. Merge, merge. And then I'm gonna pop in some of these glowy bits. You gotta pop in the glowy bits. What else? What are you doing? By the way, I didn't mention, Wade is a streamer here on Behance. You should definitely go follow his work. It is amazing. Gorgeous, gorgeous paintings, fantasy creatures and characters and monsters and illustrations, backgrounds, everything. He's got it all. So go check out Wade. And also, hi Wade. How's your day going? Dark Hour says, I definitely fall between autumn and spring. Yeah. Ren says, and the beautiful transitions the trees make. We don't have much of a fall / autumn in this part of Texas. It's hot, humid, and muggy most of the year. Fun, fun, fun. Right? Am I right? Dark Hours. Oh wait, I fall between. Wade says, too kind. Hi, Ren. You know, there's not enough kindness in the world. Let's get more of it. Kind. Do. Okay, so we've got some glowy bits. We're roughly bringing this together. I kind of want the leaves to be slightly darker, so I'm gonna, I guess, do brightness contrast, clip it again, and do down on the brightness a little bit. Yeah, I think that's more subtle. I want the glow to be the most bright. And well, actually, the letters are probably going to be the brightest. Yeah. I take it all back. And then. So we've got our background, we've got our plants, we've got our sparkles, and now we've got our text. I'm going to do the pencil brush. I'm going to go for a lighter yellow. And I'm always torn about, well, first of all, brush to use. I don't think I'll use the pencil brush just because it's so... It'd take like multiple things to get it going. Wade says, Anna, you're gonna animate this, right? Yes, so I'm painting it out right now. What we're doing is replacing this banner that I have for my Patreon. So we're gonna at least animate the letters just by writing them multiple times. And I was saying we will maybe get to making the plants move in some way, either by drawing them multiple times or actually like planting some motion in there. And then also with sparkles, there's always the possibility of having some kind of like effect, you know? But just letting you guys know, I am not an animator in the traditional sense. I do not know what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of trying to figure it out, and that's hopefully a fun thing to watch. Not sketch. Let's do ink. Yeah. Brush, pen, gritty. Gritty. That's the what do you call it? Mascot of this stream. Gritty. Let's get gritty with it. Nah. Hey, over on YouTube, I see you, Alex Blaze. By the way, you should definitely follow Alex Blaze art on Instagram, I believe would be the best place to go. But definitely, their art is amazing. Saying, my AC is also gigantic noise. Yes. Big noise is coming from such a little portable AC. I'm talking to it. It's so cute. I love it. It's keeping me cool. And also saying, wow, I'm excited for your shop. And spring was amazing in Portland area this year. So many flowers and all the trees were dark green, yellow, green, and white. Ha ha ha, hi. Thanks for being here, Alex. Yes, so Portland, I feel like, is just gorgeous all the time. I get sad when it's like obviously way too extreme of heat here, because it does, like, it's crazy, but like things drought in ways that I never would have expected. Like my parents' neighbor's tree, which was this massive, had to be over like 100 years old kind of tree, droughted to death, and nobody knew. Like, What? Because it was like it when a tree like that dies to drought, it is multiple years before it even shows signs that it's dying. So basically, by the time you know that it's dying, it's too late, which is so sad. And they were very sad about it. It's one of those like it's a tragedy to lose a tree like that. But it is definitely a warning to be like, oh yeah, when it's ridiculously hot, even our big ones aren't safe. And my parents live in a very solidly wetlandsy area, which is why it was so concerning. It was just one of those like climate change. Oh gosh, I don't like this because everything else is like, oh yeah, it's wet. There are creeks everywhere. There's waterfowl. There's beavers, and then this tree is just like can't survive. Crazy. Anyways, go water your trees, especially saplings. Apparently, they take a lot of water when they're growing. Speaking of growing. Alright, I'm probably gonna have to finagle these letters anyway because once I decide on how they look, I'm going to write them several times to have that jitter to them. So I want them to look somewhat reputable. Alright, so this is without our little sketch. Just the loosey-goosiness of it all. I'm gonna bust out the pencil brush again. Pencil. And I guess I will have to color select because I want this color. And I'm just gonna put in real quick these little thingy-majigs. Obviously we'll go in and like refine the shapes of everything, and every little piece will get its time to be special. Beep, bop, boop, beep, bop. There we go. Now it feels a little bit more like plants. I might change the background to be a little bit more cool. Let's see. Whoa. It's all together. Okay, actually, I like that a lot better, I think. That's cute. Okay. Like, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Before? After. Before? After. I don't hate the before, but I think I like the after better. What do you guys think? I agree. Robin says you're going to be using the boiling line technique. No! What does that mean? Boiling line technique? What is that? What's that? I am confused. Dark Hour says, Tree, wake up. I don't like this. Tree, wake up. I don't like this. Wow. By the way, you guys like my mug today? Look at that. I don't know if you guys have seen this guy in a while, at least. It's my teal boy. He's very heavy. Chrissy, wake up. I don't like this. Now it's stuck in my head. How dare you, Dark Hours. How dare you. I think I wanna just a slight lightness and a slight more. I want saturation. That's what I want. Maturation and saturation. That's my band name. Don't wear it out. Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this. More like that. Yeah? And it's like a mossy ground? I mean, moss is... moss is the best. Sorry about the tongue. Kendall says, I literally was singing that song 5 seconds before I joined stream, lol. Oh my gosh. Amazing. I love it. Dark Hour says, I actually need to finish that dang show. Yeah, you do. It's been a while. Robin says, animation term. It's retracting the same image a few times to give it more life than just holding a frame. Yes. Retracing. Sorry, retracing, not retracting. Yes, I love that, which is you're going to use the boiling line technique. Okay, got a new term, everybody. This is the boiling line technique. Deal with it. Elizabeth says, I'm surprised. I thought you've been animating for a while, even if it's just animated illustration. Yeah, I go back and forth on like how much I animate in a time. It's almost like the hobby thing where it's like, oh, I'm really hardcore into this, and then other times I'm like, no, 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 no. Actually, let me real quick show you guys something. No, oh, that's how I can show it. Sorry, I was all over the place. So I have been making test assets for my website just to figure out what could be animated, what can't be. And Oh, it looks horrible on this. Yeah, I gotta show it to you in fresco. All right, hold on, just to make sure I don't show any client work. I am going to back out of this file and then open one that I was working on, and it is super cute, so prepare yourselves. So this is obviously very rough, but just, I mean, come on. It's pretty cute, right? I love the colors. I love the theme of just like animal and flowers. So this is what I've kind of been doing just recently of like animation. It's not necessarily an intentional act that like, you know, the tail is wiggling or whatever. It's just redrawing it a few times. And with this one, the line is staying still and it's just the colors behind it moving. And I really like that for just a sense of motion. It grabs the eye, but it doesn't require you to put in like, you know, all the knowledge that it would take to make a dog walk. You know, it's insane the different levels of like, oh yes, I animated this, but an animator can make a character talk. I cannot make a character talk to save my life. So just, you know, there's a difference there for sure. But that doesn't mean that this is any worse. This is like charming as all get out. I also used a soft light layer over this so you can see subtle changes in the colors as well. But anyways, I'm not talking down about this kind of animation at all. What I'm saying is that the different abilities can always be matched by the type of animation that you're doing, which I love because I want to make stuff move. I love the motion tools in Fresco, and hopefully this is like a learning experience where I could keep going and move more things in more ways. But yeah, I think both of them are completely valid and really, really fun to do. So pick up Fresco. Do some motion. Is fun. Robin says, oh, so cute. Kendall says, oh, cute. Martha says, love it. Elizabeth says, love it. Are you guys matching each other's reactions to this? Elizabeth says, is that a watercolor texture brush? This one was the graphite brush, actually. Let me show you. So over here, yeah, I have the graphite and I painted it all in. And then over it, I used the graphite again, I believe, on soft light to add some colors. Anthony Jackson's in the chat. What's up? Said, simple yet effective animation. So cool. Thank you. Elizabeth says, looped animation isn't the same as character animation and TV/film animation. Neither is better or worse. They're all great. Exactly. Thank you. That was a perfect synopsis, Elizabeth, of what I was trying to say. So, well done. Robin said, hey, there's tons of different animation techniques and choices. This looks like it's gonna be wonderful. Oh, thank you. Well, it's also just, oh yeah, big face. I don't think there's anything secret on here, but I just wanted to make sure. But anyways, the banners and website assets and stuff like that, it's just highly useful to me. I think this makes people feel like they instantly get to see a bit of what my creations are like because this is what I create. And also, it just makes it feel more engaging. It's instantly like your eye is drawn to it so much more than a static image, which is what I love. All right, let's see in general. Oh, golly, do I have to use this? How do I grab it with both? Do I have to turn touch on? Is that a thing? Let's see. Oh, no, it's using the other computer or screen. It started controlling stuff on my other desktop, which is really weird. All right, I guess we don't get to see it horizontal because I'm not sure how to turn it horizontal without having two axes, because on the iPad you flip it with your fingers like this. So anyways, if you guys have an idea about that, let me know. But I will just try to in general have a straight line. Eyeball it. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I think that's ish okay. All right, I'm gonna finagle these letters into place a little bit. They do not have to be perfect. I just want them to not be horrifically off. And it's gonna be my handwriting, so I mean, they're not perfect. That's the way. Ooh, ooh. Long press the brush for a straight line. Anthony Jackson. I knew that in the other app, but I had never seen it in this one. Thank you so much, Anthony Jackson. That is amazing. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so get thee gone. Get thee to a nunnery. Quick, name that one. I'm just molding it with the line. You get it, right? Right. Like that. In general, again, I'm going to do another layer over this with this on low opacity so I can see where I'm going, but also just use as my natural handwriting as the basis for this. This is kind of just creating the ability to not have to rewrite as much in the end, because I have at least a little bit of a... These are like the gutters at the bowling alley. I'm creating the gutters so that I don't have to bowl perfectly. It's funny how the fatter bottoms on these letters made it feel like the 70s kind of lettering. I dig it. Groovy, man. Oh yeah, let's do it up here as well. Oh wait, no. Does the eraser work like that? If it's a straight line, you hold it and then... Oh my god, I was not expecting that to work. Even your eraser does it. Oh, that's so good. Everybody hold it together. Because I'm writing together. You get it? You get it? Boop, 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 boop. Wow. Wow. We're just learning oodles and oodles today. Oodles of noodles. Let's go together. Okay, I think we're good. Ooh, you guys are talking so much. Okay, let's see. Anthony says, the graphite brush is my go-to for blending colors together. That's nice. I love the graphite brush. Robin says, I find branding on Patreon so intimidating. Like, you have to stick with a style to be true to your brand, and my Patreon is all over the place with the stuff I do. I think that sometimes it feels like it's all over the place to us, but if it's filtered through you, it's got some kind of cohesion. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. And just look for opportunities where you're like, oh yeah, this is something I like to do consistently. Let's just lean into that and make it part of like all my images. But I mean, that's just me saying that. I know that I've been doing a lot of searching for what I want my brand to look like as well with the website, especially. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how many storefronts Anthony and I have looked at to try to figure out, like, okay, so what type of photography of the goods would best suit the brand, and what kind of like knickknacks are going to be around it, what kind of background, what kind of color scheme, what kind of lighting situation, all sorts of stuff. And it's hard because there are so many, well, at least for me, the struggle is there are so many good ones. I'm like, oh man, I love this and I love this and I love this. It just never ends. However, at some point it's got to end. So you have to say, this is the one. So my only solace in that situation is telling Anthony, hey, we're probably going to redo this again in like a few months when we have another update. Hopefully. I mean, that's the idea, is like that I'll keep making new products and I'll keep updating. Adobe Live is here. Hello. What's up? Let's grow together. Robin says, again, Anna, so professional. Hello and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Anna. Wait, not Adobe Live. Welcome to my stream, my personal stream. But yeah, on the live stream tab. What's up, everybody? Let me know how you're doing today. And yeah, I'm a children's book illustrator. I also have a Patreon. We're redoing the banner. We're going to create some animation like these, what was it called? Boiling line technique, apparently, where you write the letters multiple times to make them jitter. And then we're maybe going to get to the part of the process where the plants are going to move a little bit too, and maybe some sparkles are going to sparkle. So that's the idea. Let me know if you have any questions. We're working in fresco today, and we're happy to have you. Thanks for being here. Okay, so now that we've got our basis for lettering, what I'm going to do is throw down that opacity a little bit. Also, I know that, like, lettering nerds are going to be like the kerning and stuff like that, which, like, cool, more power to you. I love lettering nerds. However, I'm going to do this in my own handwriting, so it's not going to be perfect, and we don't need it to be. Really, we're just trying to get something that looks legible. That's most important, that you can read it. All right, let's get that light yellow going, and we can always change the color of that too. So, whoops, that's the wrong layer. New layer. Ha-da-da, da-da-da-da. Okay. So I'm going to just try to write through it one time. No hesitation. Let's go. Let's go. Hello? There we go. It slowed down for a second. I was like, what? Let's grow. That's a bad W. Bad W. Do you guys ever watch a show with that bad robot ad at the end? I think it was 30 Rock that I watched that, and so every single time it would just be like, bad robot. Got stuck in my head. Alright, let's see it without the previous one. Alright, not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. I think that the let's is a little bit too spread out compared to the other words, and then that's what's calling out to me. And I still don't like the W on the grow. So let's just lasso tool this and kind of move it over and see if that feels better. Beep. Deselect. Reselect. Beep. Is it the S? That's a different S. You know, S's can be so different feeling based on how they're written. It's a lot of feeling in an S. I think now my thing is I want this to be, whoops. Hold on. Yeah, more centered between the words. There we go. Alright, yeah, I think that's much better. And I can write it just like a million more times. But no, I'll start with like 3 frames and see how we feel. Deselect. No, no, no. Deselect. No, no, no. What am I doing? Oh, yes. That's one thing in Fresco. If you use the hotkey B to get back to the brush tool, it brings you to the vector brush instead of the raster one. And so just heads up. I've run into that a few times. Martha says, I kern all day for work. For this, I would break all the lettering rules. Go wild! I love that. By the way, Alex says, yeah, and then the freak show, freak snow, not freak show, freak snow in April. The weather is not doing well. Agreed. Oh, I was on your website last night and saw that. I freaking love it. Was looking at your portfolio because I saw your class on SVS. That's so nice. Ah! I love it. Also, I need to like look at analytics more or whatever because I always assume nobody's looking at my website, and then somebody's like, oh yeah, I was looking at your website, and I was like, what? All right, so let's jump into motion, shall we? So there's these 3 circles in the bottom right with the little play button, not the ruler. Get out of here, it's not your turn. And it's the motion tool. So now our layer has been made into 1 frame of the animation. I love the motion tools in Fresco. Ask me questions about it. We'll learn together. There are things I don't know, I'm sure. Rin was like, we see everything, Anna. Oh my gosh. Seen it all. Okay, so I'm going to turn on in the settings onion skinning so that we can see a little afterglow of our previous layer so we know what to write over. Let's grow. Let me just write it again. Boiling line technique. Grow. We're trying to match it somewhat, but it doesn't have to be exact. And it won't be. No matter how hard you try, you will never get the exact pixels completely filled in. Come on. There we go. Whoop. And then once more. Nope, that's too low. Let me get low, 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 low. Boots with the fur, with the fur. Honestly, it's kind of fun. It's like coloring in a coloring book. You really want to match those first letters if you can, because especially if this is the last frame, it's going to be popping back to that other one first. Unless you boomerang the animation, which is an option. But, you know. Just know the limits. Together. I spelled everything right? That's the biggest fear is like you spend hours writing a thing and you spelled it wrong. No. Okay. All right, all right. Ready to see it play? Let's set the frames to slow, like 5. Uh, uh, it's doing the thing. It's jittering. Oh, I love it. So, we've got words. They are moving. This works so far. I think we need more frames to make it feel like it's not just did it did it did it did it. Um, and the grow is the most jittery, I'd say. Although the E on let's is going crazy. But together's pretty good. It's got it together. The G's a little weird. But anyways, so let's do first, before we get into furthering the animation, let's just get some basic stuff going with the plants. Sound good? Sound good. You know what? I shouldn't have done the soft light on these. I'm gonna fill them with one color because one of the beauty things one beautiful thing about animating in fresco is that you can have a bunch of different layers and they'll all be their own animations. So I can have the sparkle be its own animation and I can move it around. I can have one plant be animated and another plant be animated on separate layers and move them around. It's awesome. Another thing I can do is I can animate the plants and then I can also create a layer of soft lights that affect the plants that are also animated. It's just so cool. So, anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip a layer to the plants. I'm going to select one of the colors that I feel best represents the plants. Let's do this. I'm going to fill it. Pixel. Then I'm just going to zhuzh it down. We will get that color variation back, just not at the mo. And then I think we liked the graphite brush on the other one, so let's use the graphite brush again, which I think is in... is it drawing? Is it basic? Dry media? Graphite. Nailed it. Favorite. Awesome. Okay, it's in my favorites. Now, let's go in here and change up some of the shapes of these guys, because right now it is a little rough. Whoa, you're big. Okay, a little bit smaller. Might not get in here perfectly. I don't know. Maybe I like that. Trying to decide what kind of mark making I want for this. I don't hate it. But do I love it? Ah, golly. So hard to choose. Maybe if I turn up the... not the smoothing, but the flow? I'm trying to decide whether I want a brush that has the variable opacity to it, or if I want something that's fully opaque with like one motion. Like our pen brush that we're using for the lettering. Let's try that one just real quick. That was an inking, right? Ooh, Conte crayon. Let's see what that looks like. Sorry, totally. It's very rough. I don't mind that, but just not for this. Ink. I believe it was the brush pen. Yes? Yeah, I think that'll work better, honestly, for what I'm going for. If I'm moving these guys, having opacity also be a factor is like... it's a lot. It's a lot to put on one person's plate, okay? You can't expect me to live in a world like this! Okay. These guys are obviously very basic shapes, so it shouldn't be too hard to blast through this and just get some refinement. Maybe I'll do 2 at a time or something. I don't need to do them all on the same layer. Also, my hand is getting... oh, I almost knocked over my water. So, my hand's getting sweaty on this Cintiq, so a great solution for that is this little half glove. I highly recommend it, especially for everybody in hot climates. It's a lifesaver. Makes it so your hand can just effortlessly grow across the screen. Alessandra says, what are you making, Anna? I am making a banner for my Patreon. It's an update of this one. We are going to have a little change in theming over there, so get ready. Ooh. Now, it's mostly just theming on the outside. I want people to come and like more quickly get an idea of what my Patreon is about instead of what it used to be about. So that's what we were going for. It's an update. So I think what I'm going to do is just test what I want to do with these two. I could just do one of them, honestly, but I'm going to duplicate selection. Dunzo. I'm going to turn off the original. And now we have a frame. So this is our first frame. So I could try, just like our lettering. Whoops. Nope, that's not the right thing. Deselect. Brush tool. Just like our lettering, I could try drawing them a few times and see how that feels. And then I can do another test to try moving them and see how that feels. That sound good to everybody? Hopefully. Just want to, once again, as closely match the original as possible. The less extreme jitter, especially on these plants that aren't the focal point, is going to be better. Alright, third time's a charm. Also, with all of these layers in Fresco that create animation when put together, each layer can be a different amount of frames. So say I add 4 frames onto this and the letters only have 3 frames of animation going, then it will repeat one of the 3 at the end and then start over again from the beginning. So it'll have a little bit of weirdness that way. So if you're really planning an animation in Fresco, I would highly recommend planning out how many frames you want it to be first, so that you can have every element fit into that. And if you only want something to animate for 3 frames and then something else to animate for 15, all you need to do is make up that difference in empty frames. So you would add on 12 frames. Math. All right. That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. I ain't mad. If the sparkles actually moved, which I could definitely do pretty easily because I've done that many a time, then I feel like this could look pretty complete pretty fast. Elizabeth says, I have the half glove. It's nice. And says, I like just wearing the half glove. Sometimes I look at my hand and question why I'm wearing it when not drawing. How did that get there? I totally feel that. I know, James has this little, like, he retrofitted one of his socks to be a, what do you call it, elbow pad, because he rests his elbow when he's drawing, and that could be really wearing, especially, if you guys have ever heard of, like, tennis elbow and stuff, you can get a lot of repetitive, motion injuries, and your elbow is prone to getting hurt, basically, with drawing, so it's a good idea to pad your elbow if that ever becomes a problem. Anyways, he'll be wearing that all hours of the day. I'm like, fashion, right? I think we've gone on walks with it before. Elizabeth says, do you have a little Cintiq remote thingy? I have like 12 to 8 buttons on it that you can map. Yes. I put it away in a drawer because I never use it. Kendall says you can also turn on timeline option to see how many frames you have so far if you didn't count. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can see these 3 frames down here going by, and there's a whole other tool that we haven't even talked about, which is pathing, which down here at the bottom, basically what I can do is create a path for these plants to follow. Look at that! They're going on the path. Look at them go. So say you have like a fluttering butterfly, you can just animate the wings flapping and then have it go along the path, which is awesome. Boop. Oh. Cannot undo while animating. There we go. There we go. No more path. But anyways, the path is very powerful, so I would highly recommend, if you guys are into creating motion, then definitely look into the path and see your future. Elizabeth says, tennis elbow, death. I was thinking about getting one because it's somewhat tedious to me, for me to keep switching between Cintiq and my laptop. Oh my gosh, yes. That was great and so fast. Well, the animation here is just that little, like, boiling line technique. I know everything about the boiling line technique, clearly. So I'm gonna use technique number 2, which is adding actual motion to this. So first thing I'm gonna do is just generally, I think I'll just do one of them to give us an idea. I think we can kind of extrapolate with our wild imaginations what it would look like. I'm gonna turn this off. All right, we've got our one guy here. And I think what I'm gonna do is just try to make him squanch down. Maybe like slightly curve here. And then the leaves will move a little bit. Oh, come on. Sorry, every once in a while it stops doing what I'm telling it to do. And that's the worst thing you can do when you're trying to create something, because I'm impatient. Beep. Alright, as it squanches down, see, this is where animation is like difficult as all get out. Trying to imagine all the things that would happen, or at least that I want to happen. So we'd have, and the volumes are changing. Why are the volumes changing? Because I don't animate. So it's going down. I'm yelling timber. And then we're gonna start bouncing back up. And this is called straightforward animation, where you're just doing like frame at a time, frame at a time. And again, I am not ideal at this, but I am also very impatient, so that's why I'm just gonna blaze through it. Alex blazed through it. Alright, and then as it's like standing back up, maybe it has like a ripple kind of go, like, it's pretty evenly bent right here, so I kind of want it to bend more at the top as it's standing up. And I know we could do like all sorts of secondary action with the leaves. I'm probably just going to try to keep it simple because it's very complex to do that. Although I love secondary action. Anybody who can do it, you're better than me. Oh my gosh. And then we're straightening back up. How are we gonna get back to that first frame? Oh, animation. So our first frame, come, is here. Yeah, like that. This is gonna be crazy looking. This is why I think that the boiling line technique is the better way to go for me. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try, you know? Always test your theories. You'll never get better at a thing that you don't do. So, I mean, there are definitely better ways to learn than what I'm doing. However, this is part of it. Doing is part of it. Oh my gosh, it lost so much volume. What if we did it backwards? So the volume changes wildly, and its motion makes no sense at all. But you get the idea of like a moving thing at least. Like it's doing something. Maybe we could have it like go zhoo 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 zhoo. Something like that. I'm gonna just pop that one away forever. Never to be thought of again. Gonna be much looser this time. I'm just gonna do like 5 frames. This is the 5th frame, so I'm gonna go back to the center. Back to reality. Oh, there's a plant. It kind of waves. You get the idea. Adam Glazer's in the chat. What's up? How are you? Tyler Gibson as well, saying, "Oh no, name puns." Oh, what's happening? I'm missing so much. Robin says, "Expert boiling linear over here." Liner, boiling liner. Just call me boiling liner Anna. Elizabeth says it's bouncing toward us. Oh, that's why. I get it. Maybe a gentler sway back and forth. Yes, so gentler, tiny motions would probably be the best. And honestly, I might not do that for like the majority of them. Maybe a few will get that kind of love. I think what we should do is boiling line for most of it, and then we can see if we can add on to it. Okay, so what was I gonna do? Oh, I also wanted to show you the boomerang. So in the settings for motion, you can do loop, or you can do boomerang, or play once. And I just wanted to show off boomerang. So it's like do 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 and then back, and do 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 and then back. So it plays it backwards and then forwards and then backwards. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Dark Hour says, I just got back seeing the leaf move. It's so Ghibli. Do you know what made me think of this whole theme? Totoro going and making the plants grow. I love it. I also had an idea for a little banner on the website of an acorn kind of coming out of a bush, like rolling out, and then maybe some kind of like creature opens its eyes and then takes it back in, like my acorn. But who knows if that will actually live anywhere. Okay, so once again, that the beauty of these things is they are on their own layers, so I could literally have these guys live next to each other. Oh yeah, and it asks you, do you want to transform your one frame or all frames, which is the smart thing you do. So now if we have both of these on, then you can see both of them. It's all weird. And once you set that setting to boomerang, it boomerangs all of the frames, so just keep that in mind. I mean, they're dancing. They're dancing weirdly, but they're dancing. You cannot deny. Oh, man. Also, we are at monkey paws time. Ooh, oh my gosh, time is flying. All right, so let's take a brief break now that our friends are dancing over here to do some monkey paws, which is a hand stretch that we like to do together. So all you need to do is follow along with my movements and we will have a nice little stretch session. Also a good opportunity to drink water, take a break from the screens, whatever you want. So to start, we're going to put our fingers out in front of, or our hands out in front of us, fingers to the sky, palms away, and we're going to curl them into what we call a monkey paw. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Good job. And then we put our fingers down, palms towards ourselves, and then curl them in. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Good job. And then we're going to put our palms out, fingers down, and then curl them in. Ooh, ooh, ah. Great job. And fourth and final pose, we are going to put our fingers to the sky, palms towards ourselves, and curl them in. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Good job. We repeat these poses, holding for about a second each, so that we can get a nice stretch in our wrists. A stretch in our wrists. And we also take this moment to close our eyes because we've been looking at screens. And also maybe look into the distance once we get away from the eye closing segment. Definitely drink water. Definitely stretch your legs if you need to. Whatever makes you feel hunky-dory. I definitely need these wrist stretches. I've been feeling it lately. I've been icing my wrists in the morning, which I can't recommend enough. Having a good ice pack is like a lifesaver, especially when it's really hot outside. Sometimes I just put it on my head and it immediately alleviates that feeling of like... So, just a hot tip. Or a cold tip. But also making it a part of your routine. So every time I eat breakfast, I just grab the ice pack and always remember to put it around my wrist for just a few minutes and relax. And then after you cool it, make sure not to stretch for a while because warm equals stretch, cool equals rest. Remember this. I hope you're all having a lovely day, by the way. I'm very grateful for this air conditioner because even with it running, I am sweating. So I cannot imagine what it would be like right now. Ren says, same, Anna, how are you? Is the AC new? Yes, it is fairly new. This is the first year we're using it. So this is a brand new portable AC unit that we brought. Oh yeah, I should check the water, make sure it doesn't overflow. It has a ton of water that comes out of the back. So there's like a tube into a bucket, a whole thing. Anyways, but yeah, it is a lifesaver and I love it very, very dearly. Hey, James. be checking on the water. I don't know. Maybe I'll send him a message just to be careful. We don't want any overflowing water. That would be very sad. How do I send messages anymore? Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure he's on it. Okay. So, once we're done with monkey paws, we gently shake out our hands to loosen them back up. I like to do some shoulder rolls to also relax that. And then do a few neck stretches. So the first one is to put your ear as high as you can on one side. And just let your head loll over to the side. And then flip on over to the other side, gently. I've been needing a lot of neck stretches lately. Tell you what. And then we look as far as is comfortable from side to side. So over to one side. And then the other. And back again. And back again. And we did it! Good job, everybody. You're doing it. You're taking care of your bot. This is responsible. This is good. Okay, so let's get back into animating. Let's see here. So we've got these dancing guys. I don't really want to use them yet. They might make a resurgence at some point. But I like these guys, the little boiling line ones. So what we can do is pause, and then we can turn this on, and we can do... Let's just make it low opacity, I think. How should we do this? I could either paint over this, or I could do a new layer and paint it. I think let's do a new layer. That was just our rough layout. And of course we can change the layout of any of these guys at any time. Alright, so we've got this brush that is very, very easily controllable, so it goes thick to thin very quickly, so I have to be a little bit careful with my pressure. It's a gift and a curse, you know? Alright, and one thing I do want is a little bit more bend in these guys than I had in my previous sketch. Bend it low, bring it up slow. The bend, and snap. Everybody knows the bend and snap, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do it more like that. More curve. Cool, cool, cool. And then these guys, they were kind of just like leaves coming out of the ground. I'm wondering whether we should just make them little shorties. Maybe more little shorties than were there before, and then some of them could just be little dinks coming out of the ground. Like a little dink. Maybe it just has one. It doesn't even have a second. Maybe it has like a little second. No, I want it to just be one. Here, I'll do this. Yeah, it feels better. It's just got one little guy. And this is where it gets a little repetitive, so sorry if this is a little slow to watch, but I promise it will pay off, because again, drawing these guys multiple times is what makes the dream come true, so if that's what it takes, it's what I shall do. In the meantime, let me know if you have any questions about life, art, in between. We've been setting up the website, and I will tell you, it helps so much to have another person to help you with doing things. Not just necessarily doing the tasks, but yes, that too. Anthony started writing descriptions for certain things that we're selling. I think we're going to start with postcards and stickers, because that's what I have. And expand hopefully to more products. I really want to make some stationery stuff, so look for that on the horizon. But also, let me know if you have any requests for goodies, because I want to make what you want. So feel free to give ideas. And then we'll make them here on the stream, and then you can buy them if you want. And it's just like this beautiful synergy, right? Also, there will definitely be a discount on the store for patrons, and as I said before, maybe there will be a secret store just for patrons. I think we're gonna maybe possibly open it for just patrons at first, and then also maybe after that, there will be special things that only patrons can buy. Who knows? Oh, also, James found his new favorite thing, which is called Libby, I believe is the app. It comes with our library subscription. What you do is you listen to library audiobooks on your phone, and you can set a timer. So he's been listening to a book at night and then falling asleep to it playing, which is so cute. I love it. Ren says, I love Libby! That's awesome. Dark Hour says, patron secret shop I think is a great idea. I love the idea of giving patrons something a little special because I don't know about you guys, but most of my patrons have been around for a very, very long time. And I feel like those people deserve the world. If I could give them anything, I will. It's just one of those things where, like, I want to give them more than I could ever probably give them. So yeah, any excuse to give them things I am into, for sure. Also, a lot of them are personally like family and friends, so I also want to give my family and friends things. Okay, so we've got our first little layer. Let's look at all this together. Zoop. Okay, so turning off the first low opacity layer is right here. What do you guys think? Does it look okay? We can definitely add more color variation. I think especially on the background, I really want it to not just be one color across the entire thing. I want there to be like gradation of different kinds of greens. So there's a lot of variety in there. Maybe even some implied like leafage or lines or texture of some sort. So, real quack. What if I went in there? Probably soft light again, because as you guys know, it's my fave. And maybe the rake grit brush will add some nice texture. There are so many great texture brushes, honestly. I love them all. The rakes have a really good variety amongst them, maybe textured. And I'll go for like a dark blue that's not too saturated. Whoa. Whoa, man, whoa. I think a little bit lighter. And then towards the center, I could go more green to warm. Maybe the warm center will be real nice. So let's try that. Not too strong like that. I want it to be a little darker, a little more yellow. Hello? There we go. This is just a maybe. I don't know if this will work. I'm just trying it out. Then I think maybe a green. And then go back to that blue. And the outer edges. Something like that to give a subtle glow kind of effect. And then I'm gonna lower the opacity so it's real subtle. Not too cray-cray. Not my favorite yet, but I like it more than just being flat colors, so I'm into that. Robin says, looking cute, but yeah, some soft texture in the background would be great. I agree. We will suss that out as we keep going. I think the more you look at a thing and feel like, it needs this, just like follow that rabbit hole. And if you're not sure exactly what it needs, give it time. Okay, so let us add some frames to this by painting in more leaves. It's the before and after, by the way. Okay. I'm gonna go back to our pen brush. Did I not add it to our favorites? I'm mad. Alright, so that was in ink. And it was the brush pen, and I'm gonna favorite it. So now it's here. Woohoo! I got it! Is that the right green? Yes. Correctamundo! Alright, now, new layer, and we're gonna set onion skin. It's on, but it's very, very faint. Maybe that's in here. Opacity, there we go. Now you guys can see it a little bit more, right? You can see the onion skinning. Rin says it's coming together, Anna. Yes! We're hoping, we're hoping. Oh man. It's definitely one that, like, I don't know if it'll be finished right on stream, but it'll be finished sometime. That's all I really need it to do, is just be finished sometime. That's the first layer. There we go. I need it to be second layer. Yeah? Why are you doing that? Am I doing something wrong? I'm on here. I want to be on the second frame. Why is it painting behind it? Oh, is onion skinning on top? That's interesting. I never knew. I always assumed it was behind. Like, I'm drawing on a layer and then the onion skin is underneath it, but I guess not. Interesting. So since it was 100% opacity, it was just like, nope, you're painting behind something. Another technique, if you want to do this but a little bit faster and over more frames, is you can duplicate some of the layers and interchange them with ones that aren't usually right next to it. So say you have frame number 1 and you do then 2 and 3 you draw completely. Between 2 and 3 you can duplicate 1 and put it right in the middle, and then you have 4 frames without drawing 4 frames. Does that make sense? Now, it might look a little weird, especially if they're like close to each other. So 1 to 1 would look like you're just flipping between those 2 frames. And then after 3, again, it would go back to 1. So it would just be like every other frame is the same. However, if you spread them out a little bit more, it can look like, oh yeah, that's just another frame instead of a duplicate of 1. So just little, you know, shortcuts can be good. Honestly, shortcuts are great. Anywhere you can do a shortcut and it looks like generally what you intended, that is the best. Save that time and put it into another piece. Ooh, that's a little too curved. Hello? There we go. By the way, the onion skinning goes away when you play it, so don't worry, this isn't like the final color or anything. It is pretty satisfying to color in, I have to say. Very much like a coloring book. Oh, also, that was another thing. Anthony would like to, for the online store, have a coloring page for free. Just as a kind of like, thanks for looking, here's a coloring page kind of thing. So that'll be another offering for you. And maybe I'll keep that up. Maybe it's like every update there'll be a free coloring page. Dark Hour says, ooh, yes, coloring page. Robin says, once you're done updating, are you going to do anything to promote your Patreon? I haven't really thought about specifically like what I would do other than, I mean, my default is like, hey, I updated my Patreon on like Instagram or something. But you know, it's a brave new world of advertising, so I really should get creative with it. Maybe I'll put this on TikTok. Maybe this clip itself will go on TikTok. I'm looking at you, TikTok. I'm updating my Patreon. Go check it out. Kendall says yes to coloring page. Dark Hour says I like this that some artists do a mini activity book, especially during the panini. Oh, I love that. What kind of activities are in the activity book? I'm curious. Oops. All right, these 3, and then this is frame 2 Dunzo. But the idea of doing something that's like printable and fun and quick. I loved, I think I was watching It was Radia on YouTube, who is an amazing artist who does a lot of really cute work and is based out of New York. She was doing a zine, I believe, for Maca Fest, which I always called or no, I call it Maca. She called it Mocha. Do you guys know what the pronunciation of it is? It's Mocca. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh, she was making a zine, like a handmade, like printed out, and it's one page of paper, and then you just cut it apart and staple it kind of zine. And it was so inspiring to see that. Like, oh my gosh, such a small scale producible thing where you're like, oh yes, I have this page layout. I just need this long of a story. I print it out. I've made a thing. How cool. So I think we should all do that. Just make a little zine out of a piece of paper. I love it. Dark Hours is saying crossword, find a word, Sudoku, mazes, A4 zine activity book. Yes, I just finished that vlog. Mocha, I think. Oh my gosh, I've been saying it so wrong. Mocha. It's coffee and it's chocolate. It's mocha. It's a big old mocha fest. But yeah, Dark Hours were on the same YouTube vibes, I think. I love it. What was it I just saw right before coming on stream? I was really excited to watch. Oh, Sophia went to an underwater hotel, and I've always been really curious about those, so I want to watch that right after stream. Elizabeth says, I love zines. Ah, zine coloring book for sure. Yes, I'm into it. All right, we have one more frame, and we're good. We're golden. And then we'll probably do like minor edits to it, so thus is life. Jessica says, I just saw that video. Ah, did you watch it? Oh my gosh. Also, Mike's Mike doing a review of the Pretty Little Liars new series. It's like called I think it's like Original Crime or something like that. Anyways, this is an HBO thing, and if you haven't seen Mike's Mike, you should definitely check it out if you like any kind of commentary on shows. He is so entertaining. I just love him. So definitely I got into him. I think it was Riverdale was the first one. I can't remember if that was it. And he was inspired by Jenny Nicholson's video of Vampire Diaries, which just is like one of my favorite things because I watched all of Vampire Diaries as like a teenager. And to see Jenny Nicholson being like, what is this show? I'm like, yes, thank you. Please explain. What is it? It's great. I really enjoy this era of YouTube of people going over shows that are like, what would you call those shows? Riverdale, Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Diaries. I feel like it fits a certain theme, but I can't really put a name to it that fits all of them. But it's like, at some point, it's like enticing to a large viewership, and then it just goes off the rails at some point. And to me, that's so fun. Even if it's total trash TV, it's just so fun to watch. I love it. Oh, and I think was it Sabrina the Teenage Witch he was talking about? Was that him? I get a lot of recommendations. No, that one was I think it's Friendly Space Ninja was doing a more of a rant on Sabrina the Teenage Witch because he was super excited for it being like actually a really good show, and then that one went the way of Riverdale where it's just like, what is happening? Which I guess after listening to that video definitely can agree. Sabrina had so much more potential. Oh my gosh. Dark Hours says, I might have laughed at myself remembering that when Anna was talking about being organized. I don't know what you're talking about, but I am so organized. Kendall says, fall equinox in Northern Hemisphere, FYI. Oh, was there a thing? Yeah, in Northern Hemisphere, always. Oh. Kendall was saying, I should also note that the Fallzine 2020 release date goal is fall equinox, because why not? We're already 2 years behind, lol. Rin says new age soaps. Dark Hour says YA as in young adult. YA soaps, tween dramas. Yeet. I think they're still soapy with how drama-filled and drawn out they are. Dark teen drama, says Robin, and Twin Peaks for younger audiences. You know, James and I tried watching Twin Peaks one time and could not finish it. I don't know if there is like a satisfying end or whatever, but yeah, that was just our take on it. Was exhausted. But I feel like Twin Peaks at least left stuff up to the imagination. I think one of the things that makes it so soapy is they try to explain too many things. I like ambiguity to a point. There is definitely a sweet spot, though. Like, I want to not know in Inception if the top was going to stop. But also, I want to have, you know, more information than whatever Twin Peaks was throwing. Because, like, Twin Peaks was confusing as all get out, as far as I saw. I had no idea what was going on at any one point. And part of that might be that my attention was not kept the entire time. Sorry to say. I know some people are, like, hardcore fans of that show, so... Just not me. Just not me. Do, 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 do. Yes, that was the Sephiroth theme song. Hello? Okay. I have to say, at least streaming, Fresco every once in a while jitters where it's like not... It's like, oh, I gotta think, you know? Which sometimes happens with Photoshop too. Cannot deny. Rin says all of the above, really. Robin says, I did not finish the new season. It also exhausted me. And oh boy, if you want to see the extreme ambiguity, it is the new season. Yeah, I feel like that's probably because of the love, the cult following, basically, of it for the old seasons. They're probably like, people love ambiguity. Confuse the heck out of them. Yeah, that's the way to do it. All right, you guys ready to watch this? Let's see. All right, zoom out, which is like click by click in Fresco on desktop. Okay, so play all. It's happening. What do you think? Maybe it's a thing? Maybe? It's only 3 frames, so honestly, we could do a lot with 3 frames. L'emotion. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay. Am I? Let it out. Nope, it's not coming out. It decided nah. It was like, no. Go back in. Gosh. Alex Plays over on YouTube is saying, I love Libby. Libby is my entire life. My entire life. Not even exaggerating. That's amazing. And says, all right, Anna, I gotta rock and rubble. Have a great rest of stream. Thank you so much. Thanks, Alex, for being here. Everybody go follow Alex Blaze, BLAIS art on Instagram. They're making amazing little bunny rabbit illustrations. They are out of in gouache. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. ND he it? What? Oh, okay, wait, there's more. Gesund it. What? I am so confused, Rin. Something about it. Oh, Gesundheit. Gesundheit. Did you see the chugging whirring of my brain trying to understand? Oh, it's amazing. Elizabeth says this animation turned out great. Oh, thank you. It's definitely not done, but I appreciate that. I'm thinking of maybe making some little lines on the ground that are kind of like moss/grass texture of some sort, and having them wiggle along with these guys would be pretty fun, I think. The question is, do I hand draw them, or why are you only showing up that much? Is it because... Oh! It switched brushes automatically. I think it knows that it should be this brush, honestly. Zoop, 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 zoopy, zoopy. That's not correct. You know it would be fun too. I don't know if that would work. But you can take multiple color selections or like select multiple colors at once and then draw the lines with them. That would be fun. Experimental animation, for sure, for sure. Oh, it's doing the thing. It's thinking. It's having a mo. Take care of yourself, you know? It's like a moment for self-care, please. And I'm like, I understand. We all need breaks, okay? Take your break. Take a break. Let's go away for the summer. Let's go upstate. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Okay, it's kind of cute. Honestly, it's not that bad. I could juice it. I could juice with that. I don't think I'll animate it, but I do want to create some glow, 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 glow. How far can you go? Incorrect. Hello? Give me colors. Give me more. Give me more. I actually think the darker yellow is gonna be the call there. Okay, so I'm just gonna zhuzh it real lazily, and then I can work on it later. The glow would be fun to animate, but yet again, that's an option for a later date. I think for the bigger stars, what I would do is just kind of like wiggle them a little bit, like turn them, I guess I should say. And then the other ones, like little dots and stuff, I could have a dot kind of show up and then dissipate. Like that. Oh, let's see. Wait. Hold on. Everybody was like, gazoon tight. She was saying gazoon tight. Rin says, you know when someone mimics / teases you and you're holding on, as you're holding on to a maybe sneeze? That's basically what that was. Alessandra says, I'm over here cleaning, but also enjoying listening to you, Anna lol. Oh my gosh. Hi, Alessandra. How are you? I don't like this song. There we go. Thank you for being here. Also, Dark Hour says, all right, Anna, I got a zeitgeisty question for you, if you're up for it. I am always up for it. Throw it my way. Please, please, please. Let's do this. Let's do this. Zeitgeisty question. What could that possibly be? Oh my gosh. Okay, so until the zeitgeisty question comes in, what I'm going to do is go to my pencil brush and work on some stars. Star bits, star things, Star Lord. That's what I keep doing. I was using the it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I kept pausing the music accidentally. That is there, and that is nothing, and that is the letters, and this is the stars. Heart, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and blue moon, pots of golden rainbow, and the red balloon. Know what I mean? Alright, so first things first, I'm going to work on the bigger stars. I'm going to duplicate frame, and I think I'm just going to, like, twist them. Hello? There we go. Probably pretty significantly, just so we can see what it looks like within 3 frames. And then I'll just duplicate again. Oh, cancel. Zoop. Definitely not equal on its axis, so it's not gonna be perfect, but whatever. Alright, let's see what this looks like. It looks a little funky. Let's see. It just looks like a little like. Oh gosh. So Dark Hours asked the big question, which is at least the big question of the moment, which is what are your thoughts on AI art at large, especially when it comes to, or especially when it can get so sophisticated results. The example is Midjourney. So, yes, there are several things. If you have never heard of AI art, it is artificially intelligent, basically algorithms coming up with art. Now, there are multiple things that have come out more recently because at first it seemed to be like a meme machine where people would put in like a search term where they'd say like Gandalf with a teddy bear and it would come up with like four different images. This was a certain specific program that was just kind of for funsies, and it would have Gandalf holding a teddy bear, but in like four different ways, and the edges were all weird, and it wasn't like specific. It wasn't like, oh yes, a perfectly cut out image of Gandalf. It was like this mishmashed kind of like amalgamation to kind of make a Gandalf-ish thing. So Dark Hour says also, I must iterate that you do not have to have an answer. No, I think it's a really good, interesting thing to talk about, especially in the art moment that we're going through right now. I've been talking with some friends and most specifically Ryan Selvey about this. So I think Ryan also posted some stuff on our Discord about it. So there are some links that you can follow just to see examples of what I'm talking about. Um, now that was where it started, was kind of like memey, and now with Midjourney, that's an I believe, and all of this is kind of allegedly because I don't know everything about it. This is just from my perspective. um so the other thing that happened with it was it got much more specific and much more believable that a person made it. So the way that it did this is it took art that existed from artists, um from my knowledge, vastly without their consent. And so it took a bunch of artists' work and said, what would it look like if there was, you know, Ghibli mixed with James Jean? Boom, mashup. Or this character in this style. Or if you want a very specific example, Jake Parker did it with his own character, Skull Chaser, and did it mixed up with a few keywords that were like Ralph McQuarrie, who is an artist on Star Wars, the keyword Star Wars, along with like maybe sci-fi or punk or something like that. Um, and you can see the direct results of that kind of search for him. So two things, or actually three things. So the person who's putting together the AI art needs to know what they're searching for, and have like search terms for it. The search terms then reach into a library of art to create this thing. And then through that process, I believe there are multiple images created. I don't know exactly if that's true for every AI. Maybe one of them makes one image, or one of them makes 200 images from those search terms. I'm not sure. But anyways, then you kind of figure out which of them you want and get the search terms a little bit more curated to what you're trying to go for. Blah, blah, blah. All that to be said. Then, okay, so here's another big news item that happened with the AI art was there was an article that was published in the Atlantic, which I believe is a magazine, and it was an editorial piece on an article about Alex Jones. And so there was a piece of artwork that was him sitting in an office, like at a desk with papers on the table. And at the bottom it says, credit this person, Midjourney. Midjourney being the AI program that resulted this artwork. uh, yeah, and Dark Hours is saying Midjourney, from what I can tell, gives you 4 photos to start, and you can refine the results of. So yes, this was a huge ripple that like, or it was the stone that caused ripples through the art community. Here, let me just talk to you, big face, because I'm not drawing right now. So, and my chair's so low. Okay, wait, hold the phone. Okay, there we go. This is the problem I'm having with my chair. It slowly shrinks me. Anyway, so when that article came out, a lot of people pointed to it and said, editorial is dead. This is the death of artists being paid for their work. Because imagine what a publisher, when they're looking for an art piece for an article, is looking for. Are they looking for something that is eye catching, that will get people to read, that has something to do with the subject matter? Yes. Do they want to pay an artist's rate or an AI rate? The AI rate, I guarantee you, is less because the process to making that artwork is a lot less. That is not even like, you can't deny that the even if you're putting work into trying to make this image happen, it is nowhere near the lifetime that people put into their artwork. Anyways, so when you're considering that, what's gonna happen anytime that somebody is looking for a piece of artwork to advertise their article, to, I mean, put on a book cover, to make a movie poster? There are so many ways that this could be used that will take away from artists getting paid, because every single time it's used, somebody is not getting that job. So anyways, yeah, that was the big ripple effect through the industry, is everybody saying, oh no. If you know anybody who's ever done editorial art, by the way, it takes so much more thought and effort than this dude sitting at a desk. Like, editorial artwork is famous for its symbolism. It's supposed to have multiple layers of meaning. It's something that you could look at again and again and again and get new things from, because it is very well thought out, and editorial artists are very well known for doing that, like putting so much of themselves into these pieces, and everything having a point of view, just like articles, just like news. It all has points of view because we are humans. So anyways, where does that leave us? I would say that, from my opinion on this, there is no good for artists out of this at all. I don't see it as a tool for creation. I'm sure somebody could. However, what it's doing is taking artists' work and not paying them for it. Well, first of all, they're not paying them for it because they're using their work without any way of getting that money that is earned from that work to the people that it was created from, but then also taking the job from the artist who may have actually gotten that job otherwise. So, bad, in my opinion. It is pretty disheartening. I don't think that it is going to overwhelm the art industry in quite the way that some people do. I don't think that it's going to take away every single facet of every single artwork. However, I do think that the biggest impact will be on artists trying to get a foothold in any industry of art, because those lowest paid jobs that you need to start getting experience and start getting a foothold are what will be filled by these AI art things. So, or I could see being filled by them. I'm not saying this is a guarantee by any means. Just that I can see the money signs in employers' eyes. I don't think that there's any naivety in our community that says, oh yes, they will always pay us because we have the best ideas. And it's like, no, they're paying us to do a job that is necessary. Images are needed for everything, but an idea creation as well. But also, they would just as much rather pay us half than full. You know, it's their bottom line. It's their job to get us for as least the least amount possible. So if they could pay a person running a program for less than half, then definitely they will. Um, that's just my opinion. I'm sure there are many different tracks that this could take, and I'm very curious what you guys think. So I think I'm going to read through a little bit of the chat just to get a poll on what you guys are saying. Let's see. Dark Hours says, this is a big question. I just got thrown into it 2 days ago. Like, oh yeah, welcome home. So I have a lot of thoughts in my brain right now. Ryan is the perfect person to ask about this for sure. Yeah, Ryan is all up in the side of the industry where this could impact, and also just he's technologically savvy and at the cutting edge of things, which I know a lot of people are going to say like this is new technology. It's just like the printing press. They thought it was going to put everybody out of jobs. It is not the same as just any other tool because it is built off of literally it could not exist without artwork. It could not do what it does without other people's art fueling what it's putting out. So it is not just a tool like the printing press where it's literally like one to one, you're making it here, you're making it there. Or some people said like, oh, the move from traditional art to digital. Yes, it's a different tool, it's a different medium, I get that, but you like as in traditional to digital, different tool, different medium. AI art is nowhere near that. I don't think that anybody in good faith can argue that. Dark Hour says, I wonder how hard it would be to link the source images when you generate a picture. That is something I've heard come up. There's a whole discussion, again, that I do not know how viable it is, but about legal recourse, about copyright, saying that, like, oh, yeah, if you used James Jean's image for your, AI creation, could you somehow connect it and say every time one of their images is used that it pays them? Or that you could say pay to cease and or have it say like cease and desist if you're using my images, stuff like that. That might be in the future of what we see, but I really don't know. I've also heard talk about legality based on where the programs live or were produced. So China has dramatically different copyright laws than basically anywhere else in the world, but definitely the US. The US has a lot of copyright laws that were built, in my knowledge, from corporations. Like Disney was a big one that pushed copyright laws very, very far in a certain direction. And so, yeah, there's a lot of dramatic talk online. I would not fall into the rabbit hole of replying to people who talk about this stuff very much. I would sit back and read if you are interested. But really, what I think is going to happen is eventually we will see the sussing out of what's going to happen. Instead of following every little rabbit hole, something will eventually click, you know? Maybe there will be a court case that actually happens, and then we can actually see when rubber hits the road. Dark Hour says, Mid-Journey, from what I can tell, gives you four, oh yeah, the 4 photos. Robin says, I wonder if we're going to have to start copyrighting every image we make. No AI can reference my art until it's in the public domain. The thing is, as far as I know, if you post artwork online, they can take it. And that's, again, just our day and age. I don't think as far as I know, again, copywriting your own work is unnecessary in certain terms. I am by no means an expert in this, but I have heard people say like, "Oh, I need to like email it to myself to make it legit or whatever." And it's like, I think that if you have the ability to prove that you created it, like, "Oh, here's a sketch, here's a PSD, this is like I literally created on stream or whatever," that it would definitely stand up in court. And then also the idea of how likely that is to happen. Like you would get into a court and have to prove that you own something. It's pretty dramatic. But again, I don't have an expert opinion here on copyright. Dark Iris says something else in Musk's involvement with Dolly and his undocumented dislike, or documented dislike of crediting people for their work. Yeah, I am not a fan. Isn't it so that once you publish something, you get immediate copyright at some level? I think so. Kendall says, "Oh, copyrights. I've been delving into the Netflix versus Bridgerton musical case. I saw a thumbnail about that and I wonder about it." Dark Hour says, "I know myself and AI art is the most amount of controversy that I can handle right now, but I am so close to Googling it." Oh my gosh. You know, I just wouldn't fall too far down that rabbit hole. Dark Hour says also Jazza, I can't remember how to say his name. Also did an interesting video recently comparing AI art to Fiverr, which is an interesting thing. Robin says, if only we could talk to the portrait artists when photography was invented. Chris says, as someone who hasn't earned much of my work, I don't know what to think about it. What does that mean? Hasn't earned, oh, maybe much from your work? I don't know. Alessandra says, I agree with you, Anna. Kendall says, I don't think AI is going to take over all of it because it takes so much time to get an image just right for what they want. Even if AI speeds up the process, it's still going to come down to paying someone to do extra credit or extra edits. Yeah, absolutely. That was another thing I saw somebody posting about. They were like, yeah, can you pay the AI to be like amicable over emails and also do multiple rounds of edits and deliver it just the way you want it, like in a PSD layered so that you can actually do something with it? Like, there's so many advantages to having an artist, but yet again, that's what they're weighing. I just hate the idea that they're weighing, should I pay a person or people or a corporation? I don't know. I can imagine this going very dark, like Black Mirror type, where it's like a corporation will produce this image for you at no cost or whatever, near no cost. So, would you rather go down that rabbit hole or would you rather pay a person who will buy groceries with that money? Think it's pretty obvious to me, but you know, just remember to buy local businesses. Seriously, like every gift, just get artwork for your friends or like some cute stationery. They'll love it, trust me. Kendall says, I do agree it'll probably change some pricing points, but I definitely don't think it'll take all the jobs. Robin says, yeah, we get to add plagiarism in the mix. That's, yeah, it's really hard when you get into like plagiarism versus fair use because is it transforming it by saying multiple search terms? I mean, courts will decide. Dark Hour says, the concern I have is that it'll encroach on matte painting slash photo bashing for concept art and that it could replace viz dev people. That is a very sad idea. Yeah, along with everything, it's just there are certain types of arts that are used for different things. Viz dev in particular I think of as a very dangerous place for robots to encroach on, just because it is literally idea creation. Viz dev is the creation of ideas. It is putting thoughts into images. Like, it is no small feat. And to think that we're gonna put that up to AI makes me sad and scared for storytelling in the future. Dark Hours says there's even a section in the Midjourney Discord for those that then refine slash paint over the AI art, which again, who owns that work? It wouldn't exist without the original artist, but then somebody is painting over it. And also, if somebody took your art from online and started painting over it, how would you feel? Dark Hour says, sorry, not sorry for this tangent, but thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Absolutely. No, I think it's very worth talking about, and it's something that is so closely connected with the community that we have on Behance, and we should all be talking about it because I firmly deny the idea that things will just happen and that we have no control over them. I think every single dissenting voice is important. And remember that this planet is only humans that do like we are all just individuals. No one person is gonna say, well, you'll just like accept it, right? I know that we have government set up and it's just like that sometimes, right? There are laws and stuff where you create enforcement. I'm not saying this is a general statement, I'm saying it as a very specific, what do you want to happen? AI art is not a law. We do not have to accept its existence as is or into the future as it grows. What we can do is say no, just no. I think that we've seen a ton of that kind of stuff with NFTs. Wherever you fall on that dial, I think that it is important to note that the general art community has seemed to reject it. There are definitely artists within it who have accepted and embraced, but I'm just saying, like, in general, if you go find a lot of the top artists in almost any industry, they are not fans. And not just top artists. I want to say the majority of artists, because that's top artists, again, they don't decide stuff for everybody else. It is just majority of the vote kind of thing in my mind. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting rambly. Chris says my first former instructor sued Disney for copyright infringement and actually won. That is amazing. What? I want to know what the actual, what do you call it? The case was about, because the only one I remember being a case was Monsters Inc. There was an artist who said that they had designed Mike Wazowski years before it had that design had been used in the movie. That's what I remember. Rin says, I must head off for early, a little early, friends. Love this conversation, and we'll have to catch up with the rest later. Thank you so much for streaming and hanging out. Thank you for being here, Rin. I know you're probably gone by now, but bye. Dark Hour says, Trash Doves come to mind just now, if you're familiar with the tale. Yes, Trash Doves was basically stolen into oblivion. That was Sid Weiler's work, and they have a really good article actually that they wrote about the entire experience and how crazy that got. There are all sorts of things in that story, and it's a very sad one. But yeah, Sid Weiler, if you want to look them up. Kendall says, I think the copyright infringement case we should actually be watching is Netflix versus Bridgerton musical. I side with Netflix, but whoever wins is going to be very impacted, or very something impact wise. Impact wise? I'm not sure. Dark Hour says, but yeah, I agree, Kendall. I'm going to look into that after this. Dark Hour says, ooh, last thought. I wonder if Creative Commons copyright will get a revision because of this, because that's what much fan-made content relies on, right? Creative Commons is a way for people to like agree that their work can be used without worry of like copyright getting in the way, right? So yeah, that is an interesting one. I've seen a lot of people arguing that AI art should only be created from public domain works. I would highly agree with that, because that's the only work you have consent to use. That they are reaching beyond that already, to me, shows a lack of responsibility on the part of the creators of this program, or programming, whatever. Because you can't just use people's work without their consent. That is not a thing. And it doesn't matter. Okay, so I know that some people do studies of people's work and stuff like that without them knowing. The whole point though of that is that you're saying, I studied this person's work, the original was not mine, if you're showing it to anyone. And yes, you can learn from other artists, but that is clearly not the intent with AI. So there's no equivalency to be made. But anyways, Chris says, we can't edit once we click enter in this chat. Oh, you're saying because you can't get paid for your work, or you haven't gotten paid for your work very well yet. Yeah, that I think that I would have to, I don't know, like we'd have to talk about like how you feel about AI art, because I don't think that that really impacts like how much you get paid for work. I think that the only way that that is entangled with the AI art conversation is that what I said before, the lowest paying jobs usually will be the ones taken by the program, in my mind. So take it, or for what it is, but I think ethically I am very against using this kind of stuff, especially for paid work. It's literally like just taking other people's work and saying it's yours. I can't take money for that ever. Elizabeth says, I bought local today for my dinner. Had a quesadilla from a local taqueria. Amazing. That's awesome. A Dark Hour says, okay, final comment. Support living artists. Yes, exactly. People are the most important place for your money to go. Please pay people. Kendall says, this is a brain-tickling conversation, and I'm here for it. Dark Hour says, I say all this as an aspiring VizDev hobbyist. Yes. How are you supposed to get it anywhere in the world of art already? There's so little. pathway for people to follow to get these jobs, and then throw into it that there's a robot trying to take your job. I know it's not exactly like that, but still. Chris says, "Steal like an artist. It's a book." Oh yes, I've heard so many things about that. I need to actually read it. I think Anthony has a copy. I'll borrow it from him. Robin says, "There's been a lot of discourse about things very similar like this in the music industry. Producers scared that eventually there will be nothing but new artist of the week that has been chosen by an algorithm, and then lots of songs are generated from samples of half an album they've recorded before moving on to the next." Yes, remixes, features, all that kind of stuff, I feel like has been covered in the music industry much more than the art industry. Dark Hour says, "Oh, of course, Chris. Dang, there are so many tangents within this conversation. I love it, but I hope it doesn't lead to becoming muddled together and then the nuance dismissed." No, I think it's pretty much clear what we've been talking about. I hope that people understand what I'm saying because I'm trying to give voice to the chat. Man. Oh, Chris said that the case where their teacher actually won against Disney, it was dogs. There were illustrations of dogs that were on Disney t-shirts. That's crazy. They actually ripped off somebody's artwork to put on a t-shirt and thought they'd get away with it. That is crazy. Dark Hours put a link to Sid's article. Thank you so much. And Kendall put a link to the Creative Commons website. Thank you so much. Dark Hours says, public domain distinction. That's it. That's what I've been trying to put into words. Yes, together we will come up with the thing. Kendall says, "I wonder if AI will go the way of stock media. I can see it going that way." What scares me, RJ Palmer actually had a really good compilation tweet of a lot of the images that made him very concerned about what's happening, which I believe it was created through Midjourney, and it was a lot of ArtStation-y looking artwork is what I would say. Like the front page of ArtStation is what everybody keeps saying is just like being created. To me it looks almost like magic card art, and that's what scares me because I wouldn't want to ever play Magic, the card game Magic the Gathering, and look down at the bottom of the card and see art by, you know, at Midjourney or whatever. That would make me so sad because historically magic card art has been a sought after position by so many artists, and it feels like a big marker in somebody's career to be a magic artist. It's something special, and to take that experience away from a human being is just so sad, not to mention the money. But yeah, just the idea that, you know, somebody could be like excited to do the sketches and start from scratch and like make an idea, and what's the concept of this character? Oh, they have to be a kind of on model but also give it their own spin. There's so many things about art that make it so exciting. And to say search Magic the Gathering plus this type of card, keyword lion or something, and it's just like, there it is. It feels like a disgusting, like, twisting of humanity. Like, why would we do this to ourselves? What the heck, man? I would never do this. Anyways, let's continue. Yeah, borrow the book. Steal like an artist. Borrow the book. Dark Hour says, with the muddled / dismissed comment, I meant the conversation about AI art as a whole, not this one. This one is great. So yeah, if you guys want to see more about any of this stuff, Ryan was talking about it on our Discord. Let me just bring up real quick what he was doing. I think it was in the general chat. Beep. Yeah. So Ryan Selvey, another artist here on Behance, was just posting some stuff about it. This is an article. I have not read this yet, but there's another article I need to look at that I believe it was Carla Ortiz retweeted, and it was something about legal stuff. Don't quote me on that because it's very fuzzy memory stuff, and you know how I am with that. But anyways, oh hey, look at that. Parvazel says Carla Ortiz is on top of that with another article. There we go, the Muddy Colors one. That's what I was thinking of. Robots versus lawyers. So I'm gonna look into that one. This is all on the general chat of Discord, so if you want to see more of this, we can chat over there. And that is time for stream. I'm sorry for not completely finishing this one, but this is the idea, and you will definitely be able to see this if you ever visit my Patreon page in the future. I will hopefully finish this week, so it'll be up there. And if nothing else, you'll just look at a cute little banner. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for chatting. I think this is a very important discussion as well as very interesting. It is something that we could talk on for a very long time. So let's go over to Discord. Kendall says it's interesting hearing all the points of view on this, especially since a lot of the motion community I've been in has been super positive and excited to use AI. Yeah, I know that certain people are going to always try to embrace new technology. I always come back to that old saying of like the mad scientists. They were so concerned with like could they never asked should they. And to me, if somebody actually stepped back and thought in good faith, is this going to improve our experience as humans on this planet, they would understand that no. No, it does not. Annika coming in right at the end saying, hello, friend Anna. Hello, friends. You came in at the end of a kind of serious conversation about AI art, but we will continue this over on the Discord. And thank you so much for being here, Annika. Everybody follow Annika. She's amazing. And also check out the mods links down in the description. They are all amazing people, and let's just give some positive vibes out into the world. Go tell somebody that they are your favorite artist, or favorite musician, or favorite cook, or favorite person. Just let your favorite person, like thing of whatever, know that they are your favorite, because we need some spread positivity towards humans. And yeah, that's where I'll leave it. Rin says, oh wait, Rin has something to say. Oh, this is funny. Annika says, OMG, Anna, you so good. Yes, please. Rin says, so Anna. Annika says, let me go tell Wade he's live on Twitch. Oh my gosh. Everybody go watch Wade. Wade was here earlier, actually. Robin says, leaving us a call to action. That's right. You got to do it. Now's the pressure's on. Alessandra says, Anna, you are one of my favorite artists. Oh, that's really sweet. Oh, and Rin says, you're my favorite artist. Stop. Okay, stop. You guys are being too sweet. Stop. Oh, God. You're all piling on favorites. It's really sweet. But hey, now I've been told. Now you gotta go tell other people. You guys are cheating, saying the same thing, like, to the same person. Okay? The point is to spread the love. All right. With that being said, I will see you guys again very soon. You're my favorite artist. No, you're my favorite artist. Dark Hour says, you did this, Princess. You told us to. Well, now I think it's disingenuous. Come on. No, I do think that it's important to tell people. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that from some rando just being like, hey, by the way, you're my favorite. But it is the best feeling to just have out of the blue something positive in your life like that, and you never know if it's going to be that just the right moment to make their day lighter when it was very heavy. So thank you very much for all of that kind words. You guys bring it every time, though. Honestly, you don't even need to say it. Your presence, even just your, I don't know, knowing that you're out there in the world, you don't even have to talk. I know there are lurkers here. I love you too. All right. Oh, Rin says, but seriously, great work, great vibes, great conversations. Thank you for being you, Anna. Kendall says you're breathtaking. Okay, whatever you say to me bounces off me and sticks to you, for I am rubber and you hath glue. All right, I love you guys. Bye.